Hello everyone, for the nostalgia enthusiasts and fans of action movies from the 80s and 90s, the game Robocop Rogue City has just been released. Exclusively for the 9th generation consoles and developed on the still relatively unexplored Unreal Engine 5 by the same company that brought the world Terminator Resistance and Rambo the video game. Considering the indie nature of the developer and a likely limitation in the budget allocated to the game's development, the game boasts excellent graphic quality, although it has only satisfactory performance on the Xbox Series consoles. Unfortunately, I didn't have access to the PS5 version, but I believe it has similar performance and graphic presentation to the Xbox Series X. However, I will limit my comments to the Series console version. In terms of the game's visual presentation, there is a certain parity between the consoles, with significant differences in a few features. The Xbox Series S has only one graphics mode, and the Series X has two modes, quality and performance. Regarding performance, we have a stable 30 FPS on both Series S and Series X in quality mode, and 60 FPS, stable in most cases. In the performance mode of the Series X, there are more pronounced drops below 50 FPS in moments of intense combat with many enemies, as shown in the analysis, but most of the time, these drops do not occur. Speaking of resolution, the Xbox Series S and the performance mode of the Series X, in my view, deliver the same resolution, 1440p using FSR2 in the quality preset, working with a base resolution of 960p. In the quality mode of the Xbox Series X, we see 2160p, also known as 4K, with the implementation of the same FSR2 in the quality preset, working with a base resolution of 1440p. I found that this upscaling feature was well utilized, as I noticed little difference between the modes and, consequently, between the consoles, unless focusing on very distant and thin objects. Analyzing the implemented graphical features, at first glance, it may seem that there is nothing new or innovative, appearing to be a game from the previous generation. However, this is far from the truth. In addition to having a high geometric construction quality, thanks to the nanite feature of Unreal Engine 5, this is true for both consoles. Starting with the excellent quality of global illumination, thanks to the use of the lumen feature of UE5, which provides great realism in this aspect, especially in indoor environments with external light sources. This feature is implemented with similar quality on both consoles and graphics modes. Regarding the shadows techniques used, there is the first significant difference between the consoles. Despite being easily overlooked by inattentive eyes, the Series S implements percentage closer filtering, and the Series X, in both graphics modes, uses shadow map ray tracing, which delivers a more realistic marking and smoothing of shadows according to the distance and angle of the light source, occluding object and surface that receives the shadow. PCSS smoothens more uniformly and less realistically. Another graphical feature that differs between the two consoles is reflections. The Series S implements only screen space reflection, while the Series X has the same screen space reflection, but with the additional implementation of UE5's planar reflections feature. Despite reflecting only elements of the environment, even animated ones, and losing some lighting and shader effects, it complements SSR, avoiding the strangeness when reflections disappear from the game camera's view. It acts as an intermediary between SSR and ray tracing reflections and works well, although I prefer and think that the latter could be implemented, at least on the Series X. Talking about textures, I identified very little difference between the consoles and even less between the modes of the Series X. The most significant differences lie in the loading time of textures at the beginning of scenes, and strangely, this is worse on the Series X in quality mode, and in the alpha masks of tree leaves, which looked odd on the Series S. I still believe that, regardless of the chosen console and graphics mode, some textures could be better, but overall, they are okay. In conclusion, despite not being perfect, the game is very consistent in performance and graphic quality, regardless of where you play it. It surprised me very positively, and I consider it one of the best games of this year, especially considering the non-AAA nature of the project. Thank you very much.